In today's lecture, we will discuss a very important concept in object-oriented programming, that is abstract methods and classes that have abstract methods, and those classes are also called the abstract classes. So what do we mean by an abstract method or an abstract class? Now, let me show you an example here of class pet that we have done before in one of my previous videos. So let me show you the pet class. You can see a pet class. This is a very general class, and it represents the general properties of a pet. To actually represent a pet like a cat or a dog using this class, we will have to extend it to the special species of the pet that we want to use. So here I do have a method speak, and I don't have anything in itself. It's empty method. Why I have it in here? So that I can make use of the polymorphism, so that I can take the type pet and then declare objects of its subclasses like a cat or a dog to one reference. So I don't have to have a different reference for a cat object or a pet or a dog object. What I can do is the reference could be the pet type, but the object created would be the cat or the dog. So I can take the behavior of the cat or the dog as needed. That concept of polymorphism is discussed in one of my previous videos. You can look at it up, and this is object-oriented programming for polymorphism lesson. So for the sake of polymorphism, I have to have this method, but this method doesn't do anything in the pet class. It's just there. So what I can do is, and I don't necessarily ever want to create a pet object because it doesn't represent a real life object. What is a pet? Is that a cat or a dog or a bird or what it is? A fish, it's nothing. So what I can do is I can declare and take away the body of this method because I want it to be there. The signature I want to be there. And I declare this method an abstract method. What it means is that this method does not have any body, not even if I provide an empty body, this is a body that is empty, so the body is present. So there is no method body in there. That means this method is only a method signature that is only telling us that it doesn't return anything and it doesn't take anything. Of course, methods can take or return stuff. They can still be abstract because this declaration only says there could be a behavior that you can promise on my behalf. How it will be delivered would be done by my child classes. Since this is a abstract method in there, which means the behavior of this method is not defined, not even an empty body. So this class should be declared abstract. Why? Because no one should ever try to create an object of this class, because if they do it, they don't have the complete behavior, because one of its method does not have any behavior. We are keeping it abstract. So whenever we have abstract classes, you can define the abstract classes as Java classes whose part of its behavior is not defined. That means one or more of its method are abstract. Now, can I have an abstract class if I do not have an abstract method? Definitely. We do that in the case when you don't want a class object to be ever created. Because when it says abstract, that we are saying either the functionality is not completely defined, or its methods do not show the functions, or does not have complete definition, or the class should never be initiated. Let me bring back my void method or abstract method. So what do we learn about abstract method? The abstract methods are the methods that do not have a body, and they are there to support the polymorphism, and they must be overridden in the subclasses. So let's take a look at the subclass of this. Here I have the subclass cat. Cat extends the pet. Let me bring it down a little bit. What I have done is I have provided public void speak method in here, and I have overridden it. This method has a body. It is an overridden form of the method from the pet class. Right here it has nothing, but in the cat I have a method. Well, I have two of those. I have one speak method, which is the overridden method, and there is an overloaded version of it in here as well. Just focus on this one, okay? Now, if I take this method away, what happened in here is this become a problem, and it says that cat is not abstract and does not have abstract method speak. What does that mean? That means it gets everything that pet has, and pet has an abstract method. That means its functionality is not fully defined. So your cat class has a method whose functionality is not defined. So the cat class must also be declared abstract. Either provide the functionality for that method, or declare your cat class also abstract, so no one will try to ever create an object from it. So if I take that out, you see that the error has gone. Now, similarly, I can bring up the dog object. Dog also have two versions of a speak method, but if I take away this, it will still first the same thing. That, let me bring up a little bit down so you can see the error. And it's saying that dog is not abstract and does not override the abstract method. So although I have overridden it, and why? Because the dog gets the method that pet has, and pet has a method that is not fully defined. So I should make sure that anybody who's trying to use dog understand that the dog is an abstract class. That means it doesn't have its fully functionality defined. So let me bring back over my method, and here we go, and now there is no problem in it. Now let me go back and show you how we can use these classes in there. So this is my class test that is going to make use of pet. Here I have not putting any methods in here. This is just basically that's a declaration. There could be other methods in here that I did not put in. So basically I'm not going to execute that, but assume there are. I'm just only showing declaration. So I have the pet reference. That means I promise the behavior as declared in pet. So what is the behavior? The only behavior it has is a get name method, a set name behavior, and a speak behavior, right? These are the behaviors. Now, whether they have bodies or not, that is not the concern when we are declaring a reference type. But when we create an object using the new command, then we are telling the computer that this is where the behavior is coming from. But when we go to the pet class, our promised behavior is get name, set name, and speak. But our promised behavior speak does not get delivered because it doesn't have any body. So test says that I cannot declare an object of type pet because I don't have the instructions for pet object. So any abstract class or an abstract class cannot be used to declare an object, although it can be used to declare a reference, because when we declare a reference, the only thing we are doing is promising a behavior, promising if you provide this input to this method, it will return this thing. That's the only promise we are making. How it will be done, that would be inside the method body. And we don't really care at that point what is the method body. Method body instructions become our concern when we create the object, right? This is just a promise of what we are trying to do. So now let's kind of comment this out and create an object of the cat class. Now create an object of a pet reference type. I'm just calling it cat. Let's call it cat1 if you want to. And this particular object is created using the behavior from the cat object. So if you go to the cat object has the behavior. Although it gets everything from the pet class, the cat object has the behavior of its parent abstract method, but it has overridden it not to be any more abstract, but now it is a full concrete method. Let's go to the next statement here. The same thing. We are saying that reference, let's call it dog1 or a dog or b dog or whatever you want to name it. That doesn't matter. Must be an appropriate name to show the appropriate data type. Here we do that. Then the reference of pet promises the behavior from here, and then the actual delivery happens from the dog class in here, which is the method in here. This is the overridden form that we have for dog, so it doesn't matter. This one doesn't cause any issues. Now, there are few things that we few notes that we might want to keep in mind when we discuss the abstract methods and abstract classes. So let me do a little review of that. So there are a few points that I would like you all to keep in mind with our discussions from today. What are abstract method? An abstract method is a method with no body. It doesn't have any body, not even an empty body, because an empty body is a body with nothing in it. Okay. It has an abstract keyword in method signature. So we have to add that in there, otherwise that will be an error. Either provide the method body or declare it abstract. Now, what are abstract classes? If a class has one or more abstract method, it must be declared abstract. You have no choice. It should be abstract because the full functionality of this class is not declared. But it is also possible that a class is abstract even if it does not have an abstract method. So presence of an abstract method make a class 100% abstract, but there is a possibility that there is no abstract method but you still might want to declare that class an abstract. That's okay, you can do that. That actually prevent people from generating objects of that class. Abstract classes can be used to define reference type, because when we define the reference type, we are only agreeing on the method signatures, and that can be done even with the abstract method. But abstract classes cannot be used to create objects. What that means is you cannot create objects. That means you cannot, when we create object, we not only check the method signatures, we also look for the functionality of the method. And in the abstract classes, we do not have the functionality in abstract methods. So you cannot create objects from them. We can say that an abstract class can have concrete. When I say concrete, a concrete class is a class that is not abstract. That means all of its methods have bodies and it is not declared abstract. So a concrete class can have abstract subclasses. Um, an abstract class can have concrete subclasses, and the reverse is also true, that a concrete class, maybe you override something and then you overrode a method to become abstract. If you want to do that, a concrete method can also be overridden to be an abstract method. So let's take an example, check that out here. If I bring that in, so let's say go for the cat method and let's introduce another class in this particular situation, and we say a new class, and our class name is, let's say, tabby cat. Let's say we just want to have a class tabby cat. Okay, and this class extends the cat, not tabby car, tabby cat, and this extends the cat. So it's a grandchild. Okay, it's passing because of the name of that. Let me fix the name. So I have extended cat class further into tabby cat, and we are pretty happy. And we have from the cat class, it gets everything. So it gets both methods, and it also gets the method get and set name and the string name from its parent, from its grandparent actually. So if I come in here and I say, well, the grandparent, let's call it tcat is equal to new tabby cat, and it will be okay. And if I come in here and I say what things are available to my tabby cat, and I have all of the set name, get name, everything is available for my tabby cat class. Basically it is letting me create an object for that, and I have the reference type pet in here because tabby cat has everything that the pet has had. I can also have the reference type to be cat because tabby cat whatever cat has, tabby cat also have. Now if I go back to tabby cat and suddenly I say that I take this public void speak method, okay, and suddenly I feel like for some unknown reason I kind of make this method abstract. Now it's passing that it is tabby cat is abstract and must be done that. So cat is not abstract, but tabby cat is, because it's a I made it that way. Now you can say, you always remember, when we override a method, the child gets the most recent parent's version. Okay, so if a most recent available version, so the cat has the overridden the method speak, so it has the concrete speak method. It did not get the abstract method from its pet grandparent. So here it's focusing on that, so I can actually make it abstract. Now that will cause a huge issue in my test class. If I go back, what do I do wrong? I put the abstract in the wrong place, but I put it right. So all of this is good, but when I go in the test class is now fussing because tabby cat is abstract and we cannot extract an instance from here. So my point in here is that you can have a concrete class, and that you can have a concrete or abstract subclass from his other is also true, and that is how the abstract classes work. So we can go back to our simple discussion, our abstract method and our abstract classes. And this is an important concept in here, because like in pet class, we don't necessarily have to have a speak method, because a general pet does not speak. Every pet speaks in its own way, so the behavior is there, but how it should be implemented should be left to the subclasses and implemented in the actual pet class. So that is for today's lecture. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do drop a comment what you all want to cover, and drop me a note. How do you like, what topics do you cover further? In our next topic, I will discuss the interfaces and the difference between the abstract classes and interfaces. Thank you.